Right, the fuse holder made from copper, and we want to extrude the part across the top of the T along the into the front plane. So we need to do the sketch in the front plane. So go to sketch, click on the front plane, it's right in the center, and just bring it into the line. Now I know that the diameter of the fuse, and just for drawing's sake, is 6.5 across. I'm also going to put a centre line in to anchor it to. That's going to be from that midpoint there to about there. The actual height of the overall unit, I have 10 millimeters, so I'll make that line 10 millimeters. So we know that's the height. Just snap that to the centre line. I also know that the centre of that circle is approximately 6 millimeters from the base here. So I just put a dimension from there to there and type that in at 6. So we're now sort of fully defined. We're not quite on the 10, but that will come apparent in the moment. So I just want to drop in a few lines now to the sort of rough shape of what we have. And if you look at yours, it's something. I don't know where that's gone. Let's just draw a sort of line from there to there, and then down sort of to the bottom area, and then along to the centre. That's a sort of rough configuration of what we have. Now that will be intersecting that there, and this is the widest part. So I'm going to put another centre line just out here somewhere, just for construction, and give that a dimension of, let's see what that is, that's 7, so let's go 3.5. So it's just slightly wider than the top there, which if you look at yours it is there, and I'll make those two coincident as well. There's no right or wrong answer here for those angles. I might take that slightly further up and bring this one slightly further out, probably in line with the edge of that pin. Actually goes slightly over, but just a very slight angle, and I'll bring it in there. So I'll just zoom in. Let's go so that and that line there make coincidence. That's out there, and I'll put some angles on that. 140. Okay, I think from there, small dimension from there to there, I've actually got about 2 millimeters, so I'll do that at 2. So you can roughly see that profile there of the fuse holder, which has got a little curly bit at the top too that shoots off about, let's just take that in about there. It's up there somewhere, and then I'll just join that and that, coincident, and then that and that. I want to be in line, so that vertical, and then move that one up to top about there, but I'll make that slightly inboard to with that there. Now I'll take my trim tool, hopefully this will work. I know that's still blue, but I'll come back to that in a second. Cut those out there, cut that out there. I'm actually going to give a angle between there and there. Let's make that 24 degrees. So yeah, it looks fine to me. It will hold a fuse. One last thing we need to do is actually put some fillets in there. Now default's 10. Let's see what that looks like. Doesn't like it because it's too big. Let's put in 1. Let's see what that does. There we go, that's better, and I'll do the same at the top there. And I will have a go at that one there, and that there. So there we now have the sort of profile line I want to look at. Now I could mirror around that center line in the sketch, but I'm not. I'm actually going to go to my features menu and extrude boss base, and if I go down to select contours in there, I'm going to select the contour and I'm going to click thin feature. I don't want 10. Let me just have a look. This should come out. There we go. I want both directions. Thin feature in from mid plane. Let's take that down to 2. There we go. That's just giving me that thickness. Now I know the thickness of this unit is 0.6. I'll go to 0.6. Okay, I don't actually want mid plane, so I'm going to change that to one direction. And luckily that's come on the inside of there. If it's the outside, obviously you would interfere. So I'm just going to give that a tick. Actually, before I do that, go up to here, and I want to go mid plane. And I think if I can do this, I can't. Can I go? I'll just try up to surface for the moment. That way, I go direction 2 and up to surface, and there we go. It doesn't go over that. I just give that green tick. Now I have to go back into that because it's actually merged. So edit feature, and it says merge. I'll unmerge results, which is fine. And then if I go to my mirror command, I'll pick the face I want to mirror in, which is that one. And that should give me a tick, but I don't think it's going to. Only merging features may be patterned. Make a pattern body. I don't want a pattern. Is that going to help me? Nope. Let's try that. Here we go. So it's just geometrics on that one. Again, if I look at that, it's got the, it looks as though it's merged my bodies again. It should be on selected bodies from that. But there we go. Well, we still only have 2 bodies, but that has come in with the material. Now I want to change that material to there, but as you can see, it has actually merged because all I'm showing are 2 bodies. I should have 3 bodies in there. So it's either in here, so just double check, edit, no, that's okay. I'll go to the mirror entities. So that's that. Selected bodies. Let's just have a quick look. I'll just that's why it's done it that as well. So just delete that one. Green tick, and there we go. We're good to go. So I need to change that material. So if I go up to there, right hand click on it, go to materials, edit materials, and this time I need to find the copper alloys, and it's just straight copper for this one, and apply and close. You'll see we now have a different material. What I'll have a look at in a second is the actual rivet that has been put onto this there. Okay, to put the rivet, I just need to draw there. So if I go to sketch on there, and if I draw a circle about this somewhere, it's fine. It gives me a point to locate. Put another center line from the midpoint of that there to there. Give me, I'll pull that, put it on the center point there. The smart dimension for the circle is It's not going to let me do it, so just come out of that for a minute. Let's try again. There we go. And that says 3.56. And the extra I've got 6.5. It should be. That should be 3.25. 3.25. I was actually measuring the radius. That's about right there. And if I go to features, extrude boss base there, and the height is approximately 0.2 of a millimetre. So if I just change that to 0.2, and I am going to merge this time just to make it easier, but normally if it's a separate part, it'll be unmerged. Give that a tick. I'm also going to put a tiny fillet of 0.1 on there, there, and to be really sort of pedantic, the other thing I am going to do is to put a ball in there and then take the ball out. So if I go, I'll put an arc in or ball. So if I now go back to sketch, and then front plane again, which is right in the centre, I know, I draw a centre line from there up, so I know that is. Okay, I'm going to draw a circle. I don't know where to, but I just want to dip this in, so it's going to be a fairly big circle. So, I could do an arc between the two, so if I delete that, it might be a lot easier to do the arc. So a 3-point arc from that point there to that point there. Just a sort of dish, as you can see, because if you look at your rivets, it is there. I'm then going to just draw a line up there to the centre and down to the centre of that arc, and my trim tool, take that away and give a dimension from there, not from there, sorry, from, let's see, let's do that dimension to that one there, 7.94. Let's give that 8. And if I can, drew that one all up to there, makes it black. Not too worried about the top one, but I will give it a dimension from there to there, and just give that, just agree to that one. And I go now to features, and I'll revolve cut. See, it's done it for me already. Give it a green tick. I now have a dished surface in there. That will come out when you actual render. So that is the live pin finished for now. Although I should put a little bit of a chamfer on these areas here. That is approximately I'm just having a look. It's about 1 millimetre. Let's just see if that will fit that before we finish. It's a 45 degrees. Let's just see if this will do this. It may not on the curve. And let's just pick that and see what happens. Yeah, perfect. Let's just do that. Do that on the other side. Just these little details make such a difference. And okay that. And there we have almost perfect live end of the fuse pin. So just file, save as, and I'll do that as live pin with fuse, and enter that one. That's good. Okay, we'll draw the fuse up next.